Hello and welcome to our webinar presented by MSE Consulting. My name is Bradley. I'm the Director of Education, Innovation, and Technology at MSE. And in today's webinar we're going to be looking at Paxen Learning's GED test prep program called the Accelerator. In this webinar we'll do a quick overview of Paxen Learning, and then we'll show you through the web-based dashboard for the Accelerator program, and we'll look at the Science module today. With that said, let's get started. Paxen Learning has a 94% success rate. They have a little over 6,000 students enrolled in their GED test prep program. And they're one of 3 companies that's certified by the American Council of Education, the ACE, which is the parent company to the GED test. Let's go ahead and look at our dashboard. What we're looking at here is the first page you'll see when you log in. When you create an account, you'll be given a username and password and a link to click on. You click that link and enter your username and password, and this is the first page you'll see. So a quick overview of this page is, if we look at the very top, it's going to give you your name as you're logged in. My Places, we'll click My Places, and that's going to show us the classes that we've registered for. My Preferences, which will give you an area to change your personal information and edit your notification settings. You can always go back to the home page. You can click the Help button, and we can always log out at any time. If we look over here on the left hand side, we'll see 2 tabs: Paxen Learning, which will actually take you to this main page here, and Paxen Learning Community, which is where we'll actually have our classes set up. Just under here we'll have our Blackboard support. This is hosted on blackboard.com, and if you need any help with that, you can contact Veronica. So let's go ahead and click Paxen Learning Community, and we'll look at what classes we've signed up for. On this page you'll see a couple modules. The first module is your announcements module, which will be any announcements that come from your instructor or your institution or any organizations that you belong to. Second module is a list of all the organizations that we've signed up for. The third module are the courses that we've signed up for. In this particular demo, we're actually signing up for all the courses, but if you only sign up for 1 or 2, those will show up here. Then we have a discussion board, and then there's a class catalog, which you can click and you can browse any other classes that are offered through Paxen Learning. So today we're going to look at the GED Prep Accelerator Science module, so we'll click that link. And this is the main page of each of our modules. They all look about the same. The first thing you'll see is the announcements. It'll be a quick intro from your instructor, how to get in touch with him or her, and if there's any special notes or instructions from them will be on here as well. If we look on the left hand side, we'll see GED Prep Accelerator Science. That's where we currently are. And then you'll see a couple tabs underneath that. The announcements tabs, that's the page that we're on right now. The GED lessons tab, that's where we actually start our lessons. Ask questions tab, the My Grades tab, and the tools tab. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's click GED lessons. Now this is going to show us each of the lessons that we have. In this particular science one, we have 3 units. So let's go ahead and start with unit number 1, Life Science. At the beginning of each of these units, there'll be a bio, with a little bit of information about someone that got their GED and then moved on to do successful things in their life. As we page down on this, we're going to see a couple of links: Student Edition and Online Workbook. The Paxen Learning module is based on learn the skill, apply the skill, practice the skill, and master the skill. In the Student Edition, we're going to learn the skill and practice the skill, and then apply the skill. And the Online Workbook is where we're going to work on mastering the skill. So let's get started by clicking the Student Edition. This first page is going to have all the lessons that we're going to go through. In this particular science unit, we have, it looks like 17 lessons. And you know, the great thing about this web-based module is that we can work 1 lesson at a time. We can work a couple lessons at a time. We can work a little bit in the afternoon, in the morning, or whatever fits your schedule. So let's start with lesson number 1, Interpreting Tables. So we're going to click the link. And what you'll notice that it opens up in a separate window, so we can always keep this open as we're going through the practicing and mastering of the skill. We can always come back here and review what we've learned and what we've practiced. So click the next tab, It's going to take us to what we're going to work on, the learning the skill, tables and interpreting tables for this particular unit. And this is going to be a practice. It's going to give you a little bit of information. It's going to give you some tables. A and B is going to give you a little bit of detail on each of the tables, and then it's going to give you a test taking tip and a sample question. Okay, so let's go ahead and back to the main page. Now that we've learned the skill, we're going to apply the skill. So we click Lesson 1, Apply the Skill. And in this section is where we're going to have a small little test. It'll be anywhere from 4 to 10 questions based on what we just learned. When we're ready, we go ahead and click Begin. Now in this particular demo, I've actually taken this test already. It tells me the test has already been completed. And what we can do is we can either click OK and review our test and the questions that we answered, or we can click over here and go ahead and take the test again. We can take this test as many times as we want. And you can stop it any time you want. You can go be halfway through, you have to answer the first couple questions, something happens, you can save it and log out and come back to it a little bit later. So what we'll do is we'll go through here, little word problems, interpreting the table and some questions. Give point values assigned to each of our questions as well. And then when we're done, at the very bottom we'll hit Save and Submit. And if we're not done, we can just hit Save All Answers. Okay. And then once we finish this, we're going to go ahead and go to Mastering the Skill, the online workbook. Click that. And then they're also broken up into the unit lessons, just like the practicing and applying and learning the skill. So we're going to go Interpreting Tables, online workbook. It's going to be very similar to the one that we looked at when we learn and practice the skill. Click on that, Interpreting Tables. We're going to review it, and then we're going to have another little sample of interpreting tables with some basic details and information on what we should be looking at when we're looking at interpreting this table. A couple of questions for us. Once we're ready, we're going to go ahead and master the skill. This will be a little bit bigger, a little bit longer test. The questions will be a little more in depth. You can start this and begin this at any time that you like. And that is basically the overview of how you work through these lessons. You work your way through 1 through 17 or 14 or however many lessons there are. You can stop and start it any time you want. You can take the test over and over and over again. So one of the basic benefits of this is a good supplement to your workbook series that you're doing in class. You can go home, you can practice everything that you're learning in the workbook, and you can do it on your own time, early in the morning or late in the afternoon, or maybe in the evening sometime when you have an hour free. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. The next lesson will be the GED Accelerated Test Prep for Math. We'll work on that one next. Thanks again. Bye-bye.